You ever have one of those moments where life just straight up knocks the wind out of you? Like, you already down, life got you face first in the dirt, and then, out of nowhere, somebody you thought would help you kicks you harder? Yeah, that was me, back then. I wasn't rich. I wasn't powerful. Hell, I wasn't even okay. I was broke.
Dead broke.
And I was drowning. Bills stacking up higher than my fridge. Rent past due. Phone buzzing with collections calls like it was a damn alarm clock. And me? I was holding it together with duct tape and prayers. But the worst part wasn't being broke.
Nah.
The worst part was needing help. Needing somebody to see me, to care, and realizing the person I thought had my back, the one person I believed would catch me when I fell, they just laughed. Picture this, it was winter. Cold as hell. Heat barely working in my little one-bedroom apartment. I had on 3 hoodies, socks with holes in 'em, trying to keep warm. My fridge? Empty, except for some ketchup, a jar of pickles, and a half carton of milk that smelled like it was about to grow legs. I remember staring at that fridge door, thinking, damn, this is it. This is my life now. But I still had hope. I still had somebody I believed in. See, I had this so-called friend. Let's call him Marcus. We grew up together. Same block, same schools, shared snacks when we ain't have much. I thought he was family, you know? Blood couldn't make us closer. At least, that's what I thought. So I swallowed my pride. I picked up my cracked phone, screen all busted up like my life, and I dialed his number. Yo, Marcus bro, I need a favor. I said, voice low, cause asking for help already felt like choking. He answered all casual like he was in the middle of playing 2K or something. What's good, man? What you need? I took a deep breath. My stomach twisted. Look, man, I'm behind on rent. I got like nothing left. I just need a little help. Just a couple hundred to get me through, you know? I swear, I'll pay you back soon as I can. Silence. For a moment, I thought maybe the call dropped. Then I heard it, this short chuckle. Wait, he said, laughing now. You? Begging me for money? Bro, you serious? My chest burned. I tried to keep my voice steady. Yeah, man, I wouldn't ask if it wasn't bad. I need some help. Just this once. And that's when he did it. That's when the mask came off. Bruh, you always been a mess, he said, still laughing. I knew you wasn't gonna make it. And now look at you. Broke. Pathetic. Man, if I give you money, that's like throwing it in the trash. Nah, I ain't stupid. Handle your own mess. You ever feel your soul leave your body? That's how it felt, hearing him say that. My so-called brother, clowning me like I was a damn joke. I wanted to argue. I wanted to scream, curse him out, remind him of all the times I had his back. But the words, they just stuck in my throat. I couldn't even breathe right. He kept going, too. Matter of fact, don't hit me up no more with this weak shit.
You grown, man. Handle it.
Stop whining. And then click. He hung up. I sat there, phone still in my hand, screen black.
My heart pounding like it wanted out of my chest.
And that's when the tears came. Not just little tears, nah. I'm talking ugly crying. Chest shaking. Face buried in my hands. The kind of crying where you pray nobody ever sees you like that. But that night, nobody came. Nobody cared. I curled up on my torn couch, pulled my hoodie tighter, and let that cold sink in. And somewhere in between the shivers and the tears, I made a promise to myself. One day, this pain gone means something. One day, I won't need nobody's help. One day, he gone regret ever laughing at me. That was my breaking point. That was rock bottom. But here's the thing about rock bottom. Once you down there, ain't nowhere left to go but up. So yeah, that's how it started. Cold apartment. Empty fridge. Heart shattered by the one dude I thought was family. He laughed when I begged for help. He thought it was funny. He thought I was done. But little did he know that laugh. That was the spark that lit the fire inside me. And when fire gets lit in the wrong person, it burns the whole damn world. Man, you know what hurts the most? It wasn't just that Marcus laughed at me. Nah, The real pain came after. 'Cause betrayal? It don't just end in one phone call. It lingers. It grows. It spreads like poison. After that night, word started getting around. Don't even ask me how. Maybe he was running his mouth. Maybe somebody overheard. Maybe God just wanted me to know who was really in my corner. But suddenly, people I thought were my folks started treating me different. You know that look? That sideways look people give you when they think you ain't worth a damn? I was getting that everywhere. Dudes I grew up with, women I used to talk to, even the old heads on the block. Everybody had a little smirk when I walked by, like I was the punchline of some inside joke. And deep down, I knew where it came from. Marcus. My brother. The one I trusted. The one I thought was solid. He wasn't just laughing at me on that phone call, he was out here clowning me to everybody. Telling folks how I begged him. How broke I was. How pathetic. He turned my pain into entertainment. I swear, nothing cuts deeper than realizing your worst moment became somebody else's comedy show. One night, I ran into him at the corner store. I was in there counting out change, literally pennies, trying to buy a cheap cup of noodles and a pack of off-brand chips. I felt eyes on me, and when I turned around, there he was. Fresh kicks. New chain. Big stupid grin on his face. Yo, he said loud enough for everybody in the store to hear. You good, bro? You want me to cover that 99 cents for you? The cashier laughed. Some random dude in the back laughed. I just stood there, heat crawling up my neck, fists clenched so tight my nails dug into my palms. I wanted to swing. God knows I did. But I didn't. I swallowed it. Paid with my quarters and dimes. Walked out with my little bag of noodles, like my pride wasn't shattered in a million pieces. And behind me,
His laugh.
echoing through the store. That night, sitting on my couch, noodles steaming in a chipped bowl, I thought about every time I had ever helped that man. Every dollar I lent him when he was broke. Every time I vouched for him, when folks didn't trust him. Every time I split my last meal with him, when we ain't have nothing. And now,
He was spitting on me.
that wasn't just betrayal. That was war. From then on, things got worse. My phone kept buzzing, not from opportunities, but from people who heard the story. Some calling to check in, pretending to care. Some just straight up mocking. Yo, I heard you out here begging for handouts. That true? It was like being stripped naked in front of the whole damn world. My dignity wasn't just bruised, it was gone.
Stolen.
And the thief. My so-called brother. But here's the thing. Pain like that does something to you. At first, it breaks you, makes you cry, makes you question everything. But if you survive it, if you sit in that fire long enough, something changes. The tears dry up. The shame hardens. And the pain, it turns into fuel. I stopped picking up the phone. Stopped answering texts. I cut everybody off. If you wasn't with me, you was against me, simple as that. I started writing down names. Not just Marcus, but all the people who laughed, all the ones who turned their back when I was on my knees. A list of betrayals carved into my memory. And every night before I went to sleep, I'd read that list like a prayer. A promise. One day they were going to see me again. And it wasn't going to be as the broke dude they mocked. It was going to be as the man who made it. The man who rose from nothing. I swear on everything I love, that betrayal lit something in me no fire could ever put out. And Marcus? He thought it was funny. He thought he broke me for good. But what he really did was give me a reason to fight harder than I ever had in my life. Because betrayal? Betrayal don't end with laughter. Betrayal writes the first chapter of a comeback story. And mine was just getting started. When you broke, everybody got something to say. Folks that never did a thing for you suddenly experts on your life. They point, they laugh, they whisper. And every time I heard it, I let it cut me. Not 'cause I was weak, but 'cause I wanted to remember the pain. I wanted to tattoo that humiliation into my soul, so I'd never forget. But here's the thing about being at the bottom. It forces you to see the world different. You stop caring about comfort, about looking good, about keeping up with folks who don't care about you anyway. You start thinking sharper. You start hustling harder. And you realize hunger can be your greatest weapon. I woke up one morning, looked at my life, and said, nah, I ain't dying like this. That old couch, that freezing apartment, that half-empty fridge, that wasn't gonna be my story. Not forever. So I got up. I started hustling. At first, it was small, odd jobs. Sweeping up at a mechanic shop, unloading trucks overnight, fixing folks' phones for $20 here, $40 there. Whatever I could touch, I flipped. If I had $10, I found a way to turn it into 20.
I was tired, man.
My hands blistered, my back aching, eyes burning from no sleep. But every dollar I stacked, I saw freedom getting closer. Every sweat drop felt like bricks I was laying for a new foundation. And while Marcus and the rest were out partying, flexing for Instagram, I was in the grind. Friday nights, they were popping bottles. Friday nights, I was in the library, teaching myself about business. Learning credit, investments, how money really moved. I ain't have college, I ain't have mentors, I had YouTube, free PDFs, late-night Google searches. And hunger. That was my education. Slowly things shifted. I went from odd jobs to real hustles. Started buying broken electronics, fixing flipping for profit. Then I stacked enough to grab a little beat-up car at an auction. Fixed it up, sold it. Did it again. Then again. Suddenly, I wasn't just surviving. I was building something. And yo, it felt good. Every time I handed over a phone or a laptop or a car to somebody and they put cash in my hand, I felt that laugh in the back of my mind. Marcus's laugh. That same sound that used to break me. Now it fueled me. Every dollar I made, I thought, this one's for you, bro, keep laughing. Months turned into years. I leveled up. Opened a little shop. Just me at first, fixing and flipping. Then I brought on one dude, then another. Before I knew it, I had a team. People working under me. Customers lining up. My name getting respect. But I didn't stop. I reinvested every dime. No fancy shoes, no new car, no jewelry.
Nah.
I wore the same busted sneakers, drove the same beat-up ride, $8 menu meals. 'Cause I knew I wasn't rich yet. I was just stacking ammo for the war. And while everybody else thought I disappeared, I was in the shadows, grinding, plotting,
Growing.
waiting for the day I'd step back into the light. The rise wasn't overnight. It was ugly. It was lonely. It was nights crying in silence, mornings dragging myself up when I ain't want to move. It was rejection after rejection, doors slammed in my face, people doubting me. But every no I heard, I flipped it into a reason to keep pushing. And little by little, that broke kid with the empty fridge turned into a man who owned something real. A business. A future. A name. And deep down I knew the story wasn't over. Not yet. 'Cause success? Success feels good. But revenge? Revenge tastes sweeter when it's served with success on the side. And Marcus? He had no idea. He thought I vanished. He thought his laugh buried me. But nah, all he did was plant a seed. And that seed had been growing roots, deeper and stronger than he could ever imagine. My rise wasn't about money. It wasn't even about proving myself to the world. It was about one thing, making sure every person who betrayed me had to sit front row and watch me shine. And, trust me, that day was coming. It's funny how life works. One minute you the joke. The next minute everybody laughing a little quieter, wondering how you got so far.
That's how it started with me.
I kept my head down for years, grinding in silence. And then, one day, it was like the world finally noticed. My little shop, it wasn't little anymore. I opened a second location, then a third. Folks who used to clown me were now tagging my business on Facebook like they always believed in me. Strangers were coming up to me saying, "Yo, I respect what you built, man. You inspiring." Inspiring?
Me?
The same dude everybody left for dead?
Yeah.
That's when I knew the turn was coming. And then, I saw him. It was a random Tuesday. I was walking out of my office. Not the shop, my office. A whole building with my name on the lease. I had on my same old sneakers, but now I was pulling keys out of my pocket for a car I actually owned outright. No payments, no debt. My chest felt proud. My soul felt heavy with everything I'd been through. And right there, across the street, like some twisted movie scene, Marcus. He didn't look the same. Nah, he looked smaller. Not just physically, but spiritually. His shoulders hunched, his face worn, his clothes cheap. And when his eyes met mine, I swear his smile dropped faster than a bad stock. He didn't laugh this time. Not a sound. Yo, he said, shuffling over. Long time, huh? I looked at him, and for a second, every memory came rushing back. The laugh, the mockery, the betrayal. My stomach twisted, but I stayed cool.
Calm.
Collected. Yeah, I said flat. Been a minute. He scratched his neck, nervous. Man, I heard you doing good. Real good. Congrats, bro. It was wild, hearing bro roll off his tongue like it still meant something. Like he hadn't stomped on it years ago. Yeah, I said again. I'm alright. And then he hit me with it. The moment that proved the universe really be watching. Listen, he said, his voice low now. I ain't been doing too good. Time's rough. I was wondering if you, got any work, anything I can do. Just for steady money, you know? I stared at him. This man who laughed while I begged, who turned my pain into comedy, who spread my business like it was gossip at a barbershop. Standing there, broke, asking me for help. It felt like the whole world froze. Like the air itself was holding its breath, waiting to see what I'd say. And I ain't even gonna lie, part of me wanted to throw it in his face. To laugh right back, loud as I could, make him feel that same sting he gave me. But another part of me, the smarter part, knew better. See, revenge don't always gotta be loud. Sometimes the sweetest revenge is quiet.
Smooth.
Professional. So I nodded. Yeah, man. Come by the office tomorrow. We'll see what we can do. His eyes lit up like Christmas. For real? Yo, I appreciate you, bro. For real. I just smiled, but deep down, I already knew what tomorrow was gonna look like. Because the turn wasn't just about me making it. The turn was about him walking straight into the consequences of his choices. And tomorrow, he was gonna step into my world, but not as my equal. He was gonna step into it as my employee. At minimum wage. He walked into my office the next day like he was stepping into some brand new world. I could see it in his face. The shock, the disbelief. Marble floors, glass walls, my company's name shining big on the front desk. The same kid he once laughed at, now running this whole operation. Yo, this all you? He whispered, his voice small. I leaned back in my chair, cool as ever.
Yeah.
This me. He nodded, chewing his lip. Man, proud of you, bro, real proud. But I could hear it. That pride wasn't real. It was hunger. Desperation. He didn't come to clap for me, he came to eat off me. And deep down, I knew exactly what I was going to do with him. We talked. Well, I talked. Laid out the position, the hours, the pay. Minimum wage. Nothing fancy. Just enough to keep his lights on. Maybe keep food in his fridge. And while I was saying it, I watched his face. I saw it hit him. That this wasn't a favor. This wasn't charity. This was survival. He smiled anyway. Yeah, that's cool. I'll take it. And just like that, the same man who once laughed when I begged was now begging me for scraps. The first week was rough for him. I had him doing grunt work, sweeping floors, carrying boxes, running errands for employees who were younger than him. Every time he bent down to pick something up, I saw a flash of the past, me bent over my couch, crying after his laugh. And man, I can't lie, it felt good. But I didn't gloat. I didn't tease. I didn't throw it in his face.
Nah.
I stayed professional.
Smooth.
'Cause that's the real revenge. Not screaming, not cursing, making them live in the silence of what they did. Word got around quick, too. Folks in the office started whispering. They knew who he was to me.
They knew the story.
Some even asked, why you give him a job after all that? And I'd just smile and say, everybody deserves a chance. But me and God both knew the truth. This wasn't mercy. This was justice. One day, I caught him staring at me while I signed a contract at my desk, a contract bigger than anything he could dream of. His eyes glazed, like he was trying to piece together how it all flipped. How the kid he humiliated had become the man in charge. And that's when I leaned forward, locked eyes with him, and said the one line I'd been saving for years. Crazy, ain't it? Tables always turn. He dropped his gaze. Couldn't even look me in the eye. See, revenge ain't about breaking somebody down in the moment. It's about letting them live in the world they created. He built this when he laughed at me. He planted this seed when he betrayed me. And now, every day he clocks in, every hour he works for scraps under my roof, he got to taste the fruit of what he sowed. And me? I ain't angry no more. I ain't bitter. I ain't even laughing. 'Cause the silence of success? That's louder than any joke he ever told. So yeah, he laughed when I begged for help.
But now?
Now he works for me at minimum wage. And that's poetic justice.